Welcome to Binge-Worthy,
the show where the question is to binge or not to binge.
The Walking Dead.
Let's do it! Here on this new show, we won't be doing the same format as Off the Reel. We're just kind of going to be giving our general overview of whatever season we're on of whatever show.
Garrett, stop.
We're going to give a random score, 1 out of 10. We're still doing other shows. Off the Reel isn't over. That'll be back next week. A food episode series is on the way. It's still being worked out, but that should be 3 weeks from now. The first episode come out for that. All right. So the way this is going to work is this section of the episode is going to be all about a spoiler-free review and rating of the show, and the second part is going to be us getting into like the nitty-gritty details. So first things first, I'm going to welcome back the lovely Isaac. We also have Carson coming back from the Goonies episode, and a new host, Lyles.
Very excited to be.
Oh wait, I almost forgot. And this is Lyles.
He's very excited to be on the show.
So, basically, The Walking Dead is about a man who wakes up from a coma in the middle of the zombie apocalypse. And he has to find his way in this world searching for his wife and son. Basically, that's all there is to the very beginning of the show. That being said, let's get into our rating. Isaac, do you want to kick it off? Because I feel as if you might be the most pro show.
Do you like the show?
I like some of the show.
Remember to keep it spoiler free.
All right.
Do you put a ball gag?
So I gave this season a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10?
Yeah.
I guess that's understandable.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's not like, it's nothing great. But if you're a fan of like zombies and the apocalypse and stuff like that, then you'll probably enjoy it.
It's probably the best zombie show out there.
Yeah, it's definitely the best zombie show.
Keep in mind, zombie show. Want to point that out. Show.
It starts off pretty slow.
Does it ever not?
I think.
Does it ever speed up?
I think about halfway through the season. I mean, there's only 6 episodes, but I think halfway through the season, it kind of picks up.
If it was any longer, I'm not sure I would have made it through.
I personally feel like they in a way, they did a pretty good job on not focusing too much on the backstory. They sort of...
Yeah, they jumped you into it.
I actually like that.
I've been wavering back and forth between a 6 and a 7, so I'm going to flatline out at a 6.5.
Keep it in between, you.
Like, it's definitely not a bad show.
Yeah.
It is better than the average show. That being said, it is way too boring for like the majority of it. Like, it has times where it manages to pick itself up and actually get a running start, but for the vast majority of this season, it's dull nothingness.
Yeah.
And it's setting up background for characters that is overall mostly irrelevant.
Yeah.
What'd you
8 years ago, when I was like 10, I loved it. I mean,
Yeah,
but watching it now, I have it.
What do you got, Carson?
Based on just what I've seen, this is me personally. The content of the show, I've got to give it just a flat 6. Because, like... Yeah, it's gonna get the loss. You go 4 and I like a lot of things about the show. I like the fact that like they focus a lot on I guess you could say graphics. They focus a lot on the way things look, like the zombies. They focus a lot on when they're like eating somebody, the guts and everything. It all looks real. But just the show itself, the way it's set up, and all the stories that go along with it, I'm not a big fan. I think it's boring.
Sorry, technical difficulties. Okay, difficulties. Okay, back to the rating. So you gave a 7, I gave a 6.5, you gave a 6. Evens out at 6.5. So there's our quick official rating for The Walking Dead. Now we're going to talk a bit about
It.
The
Walking Dead.
Season 1. What was a highlight? I mean, of course, spoiler free. What was were there highlights for you within the season?
You mean like by an episode or just like...
Overall. Could be an episode, could be anything. Just overall.
I thought like the action when it happened was good. The suspense when it happened was good.
Carson.
Dylan. Nice to meet you.
Any highlights within the season for you?
Without giving spoilers, they introducing one of my favorite characters in the entire show.
Introducing all of the characters. Not in the whole show, but...
Yeah. Introducing one of my favorite characters in the entire show. I wouldn't consider this a spoiler. Morgan.
Right, yeah.
By far, one of my favorites.
Morgan's great.
And the fact that they introduced him, like, he's such an important aspect of the show.
But he's such a minor aspect.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, he doesn't play.
As of right now, yes.
Like, he's a driving force within the show, but he isn't there much.
When he is, though, it's like big.
Yeah, Morgan's great. I really liked the last episode.
Yeah, the last episode was good.
I don't know why the rest of the series didn't really pique my interest as much, but the last episode...
Because it's The Walking Dead.
I don't know, just I guess the relationship with other characters outside the group it makes things more interesting. But then again, there's, I think it's episode 5 or episode 4 with that other group.
Oh, yeah.
That's boring as hell.
Yeah, it really is.
So I guess I'm wrong on my own thoughts there. Just, I don't know, the stuff with the CDC in the last episode was...
Really contradicting yourself here.
I'm not gonna... Those aren't spoilers. I'm not giving any specifics. I don't know.
Yes.
It's a very contradictory show. Okay,
It really
we'll get into that in a minute. But what would you, without giving spoilers, what would you say would be like the low, like what really drags this season?
I want to say it.
It's probably just how boring it could be at times. Just
How overall dull it is.
Yeah, the lack.
And that's a recurring theme in most seasons of The Walking Dead. Is just in between really good scenes of action, because it does have really good action and intense moments. But between that, there's like episode or multiple episode lengths of just nothing happening at all. What about you?
I would have to go with that. It's just boring.
It's just boring.
They have so much stuff in between where, like, yeah, it has a purpose, but it's not really important. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't there, nothing would change.
Mm-hmm.
But like he said, the effects, they're great.
The effects are really good, yeah. Yeah, I think the effects actually get worse in later seasons.
I feel like when the show was new, you know, they were all like, "This is gonna be big. We gotta pump it up there." And then once it started going on, they're like, "People are already loyal. They're not gonna go away."
I remember what I was gonna say. Actually, when I think about The Walking Dead, and of course how big it is, and how like just it took off, like it just absolutely hit the top of the charts out of like nowhere. How did it do that with this season? Like kicking off with this, how did it become the number one show?
In the beginning, like I think it does do a good job of like bringing you in. Like if you love that kind of stuff, you're gonna love that. And
it's not like it just dragged in zombie or horror fans or whatever. Like it was the top show. I think Game of Thrones has dethroned it at this point.
Yeah.
But like it was the big show.
I think it was because it was like the first kind of its show that was like, I mean, I know they
Actually
had,
of quality.
yeah, that like you watch it and you're like, it's not like a comedy. It's not like the graphics are terrible. I mean, they really put in work and effort into this.
And the acting, I think, is spot on.
Oh yeah, the acting,
especially Andrew Lincoln. Andrew Lincoln carries that show throughout most of the show, I think.
Yeah, by far, he's like
Norman
the number one.
Reedus did a good job.
Norman Reedus is really good. He's not as good in the first season, I don't think. I think he comes into his character a lot better later. But in this season, he is still pretty good. I can't say much for Andreas always a weak point of this show for me.
I think she gets a lot better as
she
show
does.
goes on.
Laurie's acting is like neither here nor there.
Shane, John Bernthal.
Yeah,
he's such a good actor.
He's a really good actor.
Wait, which one is
Shane.
that? Okay.
He's such a good actor.
I don't know their real names. I know their actor.
I think that's about all we can say without getting into the nitty gritty. So we're gonna go ahead and cut this off here. Next part of the episode will be a completely spoilerific, in detail, everything we liked and did not like about the show. So be sure to tune in for that. We'll see you there.